Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe. In my previous lecture, I talked about the half adder and full adder circuits, the circuits that are used in the binary addition in the arithmetic unit of computer. And today I want to talk about the memory circuits. Uh, you actually heard about memory circuits when you were introduced to the solid state devices. Your teacher at that time must have told you that a solid state device is made up using the flip flops. So now we are actually going to study those memory circuits in today's lecture. So today I'm going to show you the RS and JK flip flops, and these are called sequential circuits. The circuits you have studied up till now are called combinational circuits. A combinational circuit is always dependent on the input value. Whatever input you give, the result is based on that. A sequential circuit has the ability to retain the previous state. Whatever the previous output state of the circuit was, it is retained. The memory state, you can call it, the memory state is retained, and the next output is always based on the input value and the previous output. So first of all, I want to talk about the RS flip-flop or the RS latch. This is the basic diagram of the RS flip-flop. In this diagram, you can see that you have two inputs and two outputs. The difference is that output is again being fed back into the NOR gate, which is actually making this as a sequential circuit. To understand the terminology, remember that R is reset and S is set. One more thing about it is whenever you are using the set bit, you are actually setting the Q to 1, and reset means you are setting the Q to 0. Before I move on and start analyzing this circuit and teach you how to make the truth table of this circuit, which is going to actually be a little bit different than the previous way of making the truth tables, I want you to remember the NOR gate truth table. In the NOR gate truth table, you learned in your O levels, 0 plus 0 is 0 and the output is 1, and 0 plus 1 is 1 but output is 0, and 1 plus 0 is 1 but the output is again 0, and 1 plus 1 is 1 but the output is 0. So in this truth table of NOR gate, you can see that wherever you are having a 1 as an input, the output is always 0. I'm going to use this to actually analyze my circuit. So remember this, you can call this the NOR rule, that whenever you have a 1 as an input, whether it's 0 1 or 1 0 or 1 1, the output is always 0. So let's analyze the RS flip-flop. I'm calling this RS flip-flop because when you are making the this latch using the NOR gate, the R is actually fed into the Q port and the S is fed into the Q bar port. In this Q and Q complement, this Q is my intended output, and the Q complement is always the complement, the inverse of whatever the Q is having. The rule is that Q dash must always be, or Q complement must always be the opposite of Q. So let's start to analyze this circuit. In the first case, let's assume that S is 0 and R is 1. Now, when I'm going to analyze the circuit in this case, I cannot actually start by analyzing by the zero side. But by the one side, I am very certain that if I have 1 as an input, no matter what happens, the output is going to become 0. So on the Q, I have the 0. And this 0 is being fed into this B, and 0 into NOR actually results as 1. So Q is 0, Q dash is 1. Our output bits are settled. The case 1, in case of S being 0 and R being 1, we would have Q being 0 and Q dash, Q complement being 1. This feedback is also verifying this. Now, let's assume that we have removed the input of S and R. Removing the input means that the value of R, which was actually previously 1, now it is 0. So I have S and R both 0. But the previous state, as you have seen the previous state in the previous slide, the previous state here is Q0 and Q dash is 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these outputs and feed them back into the NOR gates. So if I'm removing my inputs S0 and R0, the 1 of Q complement is being fed into A and the 0 of Q is being fed into B. And 0, 1, this is 0, 1 or 1, 0, they both are 0. According to the truth table, they both are 0. So you have Q as 0. And in here I have, in the second NOR gate, I have 0 and 0. 0 plus 0 is 1. So the Q complement is also staying the same. So if Q and Q complement are staying the same, they are retaining their previous state, you can say your RS flip-flop has been in the memory state. The important point that I want you to know right now is even the inputs have been removed, our previous state is still continuing. The circuit is still retaining its previous state. That means the memory is being retained. The next case, let's assume the S is 1 and R is 0. Again, I cannot start from the 0 side because then I will have ambiguous cases. But I can start from the 1 side, that if one of the input is 1, I don't know what input is here at the B, but without knowing the other input, I can still say that if B has one input as 1, the result is always going to be 0. So here is Q0. This Q0 is going to be fed into A, and 0, 0 into a NOR results as 1. So Q is going to become 1. Now let's see if the memory state retains. The case 2 was S1 and R0, and if I remove the input S is 0 and R is equal to 0, what I can do, I can see that this is my current inputs and this Q and Q complement is the previous state of the circuit. So what we are going to do, we are going to feed this output back into the circuit, and this Q, the one of the Q here is being fed into this B, and this 1 and 0 is going to become 0, like the second and third row of the NOR gate, you can see. So Q complement is 0, and this 0 is going up back into the A, and 0 NOR 0 is 1, as you can see from the NOR gates truth table. So again, even after removing the inputs, you can see that the circuit still retained the 1 and 0, means the memory is still there. The state of memory is still there. So now we have analyzed three possible situations, 1 0, 0 1, and 0 0. We have analyzed them both. But what would happen if we have both S and R set to 1? Now this is a bit uh, confusing. Now I have 1 on both sides. So it doesn't matter which side I choose to start. I'm going to have zeros on both of the Q and Q complement. Because if I have 1 as input, the truth table is already showing me that I'm going to end up having 0 as the output. So that means I have Q and Q complement same. And I told you that this should not happen. Q and Q complement should not be same. That contradiction actually makes our circuit useless. If I remove the input now, the previous state, the Q and Q dash was 0, and I'm now removing the inputs R and S are again 0. What is going to happen to my circuit now? This 0 of Q is being fed into B. So 0 and 0 here, this 0 and 0 here is going to make the Q complement 1. And this 1 is being fed back into A. And this 0 and 1 is going to keep the Q as 0. You can start it from the R side as well. It doesn't make any difference. But this contradiction actually makes our circuit useless for us. If you start evaluating this circuit from the R side, this Q complement was 0, and this 0 will be fed into A, and 0 nor 0 would be 1, and this one is now going to be fed into S, S0, and the one from the Q will be fed into B, and as you know, it is going to keep the output of Q complement as 0. So now the circuit has gone into something which is not a definite state. So let's sum all this up into the SR flip-flops truth table. The 0 0 here is the memory states. The memory state means whatever the previous state is, it is going to continue. The 0 1, actually S0 is going to keep the Q0, and S1 is going to make the Q1. Q complement is going to be just the opposite of that. 1 1 is not used here because this actually is not allowed in the SR flip-flop. Consider this representation. Previously, in the RS flip-flop, you saw that R was actually facing the Q port and S was facing the Q complement port. Now you can see that S is facing Q and R is facing Q complement. The rest of the diagram is still the same. The output is still being fed into the opposite NAND gate. The logic I have just showed you in the NOR gate is still applicable in the NAND gate SR as well. You must remember that you have to now reverse the rules. The logic is still the same, but now the NAND rule is going to tell you that always start from the zero side, because now you can see whenever you are having a zero is as the input, the output is always going to be one. Previously, I told you that start from the one side. Whenever you are having a one in the input, you can be sure that the output is going to be zero. And when you have evaluated the circuit by the method that I have just showed you in the NOR gate portion, this is the truth table that you should be having at the end. In the NAND gate SR flip flop, you will see that 1 1 is a memory state. Previously, it was 0 0, which was helping us continue the previous state of the circuit. And 0 0 is not allowed in the NAND gate. And the rest of the bits, as you can see, are working as they should. So this NAND gate flip-flop I leave up to you to solve. We would move to the question answer session now. The worksheets that have been shared with you, uh, I hope you have solved all of them. Forward them to my email address. The name should be, the worksheet should be starting with your name, your class, and the date of the worksheet for which you are solving. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.